Yeah, I mean, before I get going, if I can, just take it. I'd like to congratulate Milwaukee. I think that's the most important thing I want to get out of this interview. Um, I wasn't looking forward to playing them. I told their coaches today. I was like, people were asking me the week leading up, who don't you want? And the first team out of my mouth was always Milwaukee. They had 18 wins for a reason. They only had one loss for a reason. They're a great team. They can win a lot of different ways. They're very committed, super well coached, super classy. So definitely wish them the best and congratulate them on the victory. It does hurt, losing the last two games at home with pretty big stakes, stakes we knew about. And so that one's going to kind of last into the off season. As it relates to today, I do think we played with urgency for the most part. I think we came out on the front foot. I think we were executing at a pretty high level. We talk about a lot of things that are keys to our game, and I thought we were sharp. I thought we were good. We could have scored a few goals there at the beginning. I think we also had some bad service that let them off the hook, and it reminded me so much of the St. John's game. And their goal, I think, came off of their only even half chance. So like St. John's game before, Instat says they have one chance in the game. This game, I know there was only one chance in the game. It came off one of our mistakes that's so uncharacteristic. The player's been here for 4 years, hasn't had happen like that. But we had plenty of time to try to get back in the game. So I think no issues with the team and how they came out, no issues with the team as it relates to concentration or urgency. I do think that this team, this particular team, the one going forward, has to understand what it takes to score goals in the box, right? So it's a different level of urgency and a different level of commitment as it relates to attacking the opponent's 18 and defending your own 18, and that's, Mike, that's where I think we maybe come up a little short sometimes.
Talk a little bit about Milwaukee's play. I thought she made some great plays on, one on Metzels in the first half was point blank and guided it over. And what did you see out of her today?
Yeah, Chloe's opportunity, I mean, she got all of it with her left foot. She really struck that ball very well. I think if it goes anywhere a couple of feet to the right or left, that's probably in. But it was at the keeper, and the keeper made a really good save. I'll have to see it in replay. Outside of that, I think she played just a fantastic game. I mean, when we go back and look at the stats and how many balls were served into the box, I'm going to say it's upwards of 30, probably 40. And sure, some of our service, a lot of our service could be better, but every time she came assuredly. Her hands were clean. She never left a rebound. The one time she had to really, I think, be brave, she went up and punched it, and that's where Shelby got hurt. So she's a great keeper, and she played great today.
What did you see in their defensive plan against you today that maybe interrupted some of your runs in your attacks?
Yeah, I don't know for sure, and I'm sure Troy will tell you about his masterclass coaching, but the game felt different once they scored. Right, so the first 15 minutes, I do think that they were pressing. I do think they were trying to come out, and that's when I thought we were really successful, and we were able to pass through the lines and break lines and get in dangerous situations. Once they scored, I think they felt pretty comfortable. They have an excellent goalkeeper. They're very good in the air. To me, it felt like they were very comfortable allowing service into the box. So they really zipped up the middle. If we were going to try to play through the lines, it was going to be a dangerous thing. We were able to advance the ball at will, probably into about 30 yards from goal. I think when we were smart with the ball, we were able to even advance it essentially to the end line and get free and somewhat free service. But they weren't going to let us beat us down the middle, and they weren't going to let us get anything clean. And so in the second half, we got I think we had a little more clean stuff in the first half before they scored. In the second half, everything that looked kind of clean was off a cross that was somehow knocked down. So that's where all of our opportunities came from in the second half. It was ball into the box, two people battling for it, knocked down. And a couple of times, I think, again, all of our experience, or the majority of our experience, is through our goalkeeper, our back line. A lot of our talent, but inexperience, is through our forwards. And it's different at this level. It's different against great opponents. The ball's not just going to fall to you. You're not going to have time. You have to anticipate. You have to run through things. You have to have a quick trigger. And so I think we'd want some of those back. But yeah, they had a great defensive game plan, and they executed.
Yeah, and kind of going off that, it seemed like in the second half, you guys had possession for, we don't have the numbers on it, but the vast majority of the second half, and it just seemed like service after service after service went into the box, but you never really had that clean look that you were looking for. Do you think it kind of caught you guys off guard that they just sagged back like they did, or were you expecting them to keep pressing more, or how did that game plan change out of the half? Because it seemed like right out of the half, Xavier was very aggressive, pushing up, and then kind of caught everybody off guard with the way they just kind of collapsed in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it caught us off guard. I think here are my couple thoughts on that. One, I think we got a little panicky at moments where we passed the ball out of bounds uncharacteristically. You know, you're trying to force things. The game didn't have the same flow to it that most do. You know, this isn't an excuse. It's just sort of, it is what it is. We're a really good team, so we played from a front a lot. And so there was some sort of stat in 18 games in the regular season, we were trailing for 70 minutes all year. For the 8 games, when we went 8-0, we were trailing for 0 minutes. And even in the other games that we went down, Georgetown, Bowling Green, Northwestern, we scored within 20 minutes or so. So we were never chasing, not once this entire season were we chasing a game with 20 minutes to go. Not once, until St. John's, and then until Milwaukee today. Well, St. John's just advanced in the NCAA tournament, throwing another shutout. The thing that those two teams have in common is they're comfortable sitting back, right? And their players are bought in, and they'll still get max effort. And so I don't think we were surprised. I will say I don't think we had an opportunity to experience that much throughout the season. And I guess that's a downside of having a great team sometimes. And yeah, I mean, we'll get better as a team. We'll get better at dealing with those moments. There's a reason that Haley and Carrie and Molly and OJ and G usually make the right decision. It's because they've been through battles and wars for 3-4 years. These other players in year 1 or 2, and most of them year 1, if we kind of throw out last year, it takes time. It takes time, but it's just a great group. They're open-minded. They learn. They play for each other. So we'll get there.
You heard the emotion that Haley and Carrie just talked with a few minutes ago. What are you hoping that they pass on? They answered this question, but what are you as the coach hoping that they pass on to the team for next season?
Yeah, we have a legacy right now that these players should be really proud of. The coaches that have been with this program, current and before, that we expect to win. We expect high performance. We have quality habits throughout training, on and off the field. I mean, these ladies have something to be proud of. They are part of a powerful program that we're just stewards of as coaches. They're the ones who put in the effort. But we hold a high standard, and they've shown through their actions, through their words, through their care, through their nurturing, that that's the only thing that's acceptable. And they've set up the platform for success. And I think they're going to be our biggest fans. As you know, we saw some alums today, hoping that the next crew can elevate us to the next level.
Just talk a little bit about the end of the second half. You threw everything at it. You created those attacking chances, and I know Emma Marcus hit that ball, and I heard you say that's it. I think you thought it was going in. But for you to be that resilient, what message does that send to your younger players that are coming back?
Yeah, I mean, I knew we were going to create some chances. Emma's got a quick trigger in there. She just couldn't get on balance for whatever reason. And yeah, I mean, you know, Brooke Soroka, who's battled injury these last 2 years, who's never been quite healthy, pulled up with her hamstring after playing for 5 minutes. So there's I think the 2019 Big East Conference Tournament Player of the Year. You know. So we only had her for 5 minutes. Shelby, who I think has been our best attacking player the second half of the season, was on the wrong end of that goalkeeper collision. It was clean, right? But she got hit hard, and we had to hold her out just to make sure that she's not nursing a concussion. And so I think I wish those two were part of that equation. You know, when you think of who you might predict would score a goal, that they were in there. Yeah, it's those kind of games. The ball can bounce a lot of different ways. You know, there were I don't know if they were or not, but there were like 3 potential handballs. You know, against St. John's, they missed a PK against us, and like these games are just so on the margins, and sometimes they go in your direction and sometimes they don't. I think the best teams, they figure out a way to make those fall their way. You know, they make their own luck, and I think we're a team that's on the rise. We're a team that does a lot of really good things. I think that next step in the evolution is just making our luck no matter what.
Coach, thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.